Salute, salute, salute. This is your boy King Jr. back at y'all with some more boxing news. And it looks like it has taken a turn for the worse for Canelo Álvarez. So, enough with the talk. Let's get into it. Dimitri Bivol set to move on from Canelo Álvarez rematch. His demands are stupid. This is coming from Bivol. So, let's just read the little print, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to show you what his statement was on the rematch. Talks for a rematch between Dimitri Bivol and Saul Canelo Álvarez seems to have reached a stalemate, that which will force both men in different locations. So we're going to scroll down to the main point information. This is the statement from Bivol's manager. I believe this is the important part. They don't want a rematch. They know that they lost very badly in the first fight and that they have less chances of winning in the second. You heard of a fighter who, after losing, asked for a rematch on the same terms. In my opinion, I think they don't want a rematch, as they are saying that to justify themselves to make another fight like they did with Golovkin, John Ryder, and maybe Berlanga. A rematch cannot take place on the same terms as the fight you lost. Is stupid. We're looking forward to our next target, Artur Benavidez, which one of those? So I just want to point that out. This is a very bad look for Canelo Álvarez, not taking the Dimitri Bivol fight on. Well, actually, this looks bad either way. You know, Dimitri Bivol, even though Canelo Álvarez wants this get back to beat Bivol, to show to the world that he can beat this skilled boxer in Bivol, it's going to look bad on Canelo Álvarez, because now you have a guy that's walking away. You're not going to be able to get the rematch you want at 175 to win his belt. So now it's going to get a little bit tricky. And so you guys are going to have to pay attention and listen to what I'm about to say, because it's going to get tricky. So basically, if you guys don't know, ever since the Ukraine and Russia has been going to war, they have been really cracking down on Russian fighters as well. Artur Benavidez is Russian, but he's registered as Canadian citizen. Bivol is a Russian, but he's trying to register as an American citizen, but he lives in California. So what they're going to do here is the WBC, if Bivol decides to fight Canelo at 168, they're basically saying that it can't be the same terms from 175. It's going to be, the rules are going to be different according to King Canelo. They're going to rechange all the rules, probably change every single thing. And Bivol says, why we got to change all these rules for? And you guys heard in the statement that I just read, his manager doesn't like it. So his Canelo's team, aka the fanboying for Canelo, not Canelo himself, the fanboy of his team is so petty and so trash that they're not going to even allow certain rules for Bivol to have in the match. Basically, not even let him pick anything on certain type of rules. So they're basically trying to give Canelo an easy win, because they see the style matchup of Canelo Álvarez is not going to be able to beat Bivol. So they're going to try to change every single thing around. But Canelo just going to have to start looking at his team very funny, because this man really wants this rematch with Bivol, but Bivol's like, hey, you're going to change all these demands. I'm going to go to the next way and just sit here and wait for Artur Benavidez. But this is where it gets tricky for Bivol as well. And I'm going to get into the Benavidez situation as well. Not too much, but some of it. Bivol is going to put himself basically in a stall, like they say. He's going to be stalled for a little bit, because apparently if Bivol decides to fight Canelo at 68, they're basically not going to put his title up from undisputed, because they do not want Dimitri Bivol representing the WBC due to the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. So Bivol basically won't be fighting for legacy. He won't be fighting for undisputed. So that means that if Canelo Álvarez decides to get another rematch at 175, that means that the WBC is going to take their title out. Well, let's say he beats Bivol and he fights Artur Benavidez. So if you're going to take the WBC title out for Dimitri Bivol, that means the winner of Canelo Álvarez and Dimitri Bivol, that means that you have to take out the WBC title for Artur Benavidez, because you guys are cracking down on Russian fighters, and you guys said that you do not want to let those type of fighters represent the WBC brand to the conflict of Russia and Ukraine. So you're basically blocking legacy for Arthur Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol and Canelo Alvarez at the same time. So that which means that if Dimitri Bivol goes down in weight, the WBC title will not be on the line because the WBC title already had a statement that Bivol will not be able to petition. The one of them was the petition because they didn't want him represented at all, because they knew that Bivol could have a bigger chance of beating Canelo at 168 pounds. That's why they was changing all the rules, and Bivol said, "Hey, I'm stepping to the side." So that is kind of funny that Canelo's team is doing that. I don't know what they changed in the rules. I really would like to find out from Dimitri Bivol team of what they changed compared to the old rules and the rules they want to change now at 168. So now it puts Canelo in the box, okay? He's going to either have the choice to fight either Edgar Berlanga, a guy that's not looking hot right now. That's just an optional choice. Or he can get the $50 million guaranteed from David Benavidez. Now, if he doesn't take that $50 million guarantee from David Benavidez, I know Canelo's rich. I know he really doesn't need the money. But it would be smart for him to take that fight, because I think Canelo can beat David Benavidez. I truly believe he can beat David Benavidez. That is a style that is tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez, because you're fighting a guy that's very stationary, that throws a lot of fast punches. His timing's not going to be that great. He boxes. He doesn't box very much because he wants to fight on the inside and throw fast punches and hope one of them lands 3 out of 21. And it opens up doors for Canelo to land to the body, land those big gut shots, tag him in the arms, because David Benavidez sometimes keeps his defense very low. He doesn't keep his head off the line. His head is very stationary. He keeps it straight down the pipe, and he's set to get hit with anything with a jab or a hook. And I think that's a tailor-made fight for Canelo Alvarez to take. But I think that his team is not believing in his skill set and his confidence anymore, because they know that Canelo Alvarez is starting to become a declining superstar at the end of the day. You can't help the fact that the man has 60-something fights and he's aging. That's just a part of life. But you're putting yourself in a box. You're putting Dimitri Bivol in a box. And you're also putting the future WBC, WBO, and IBF champion Arthur Beterbiev in the box, because now if Dimitri Bivol doesn't want to take that rematch, which he's going to wait on Arthur Beterbiev, the WBC could be like, "Hey, Arthur Beterbiev, we're going to have to strip you from the WBC title because we don't want you representing our brand because you are Russian, and Dimitri Bivol Russian because you guys are basically trying to destroy the Ukraine situation." I mean, that war has nothing to do with us, and that war has nothing to do with Mexico. So I don't know why the WBC is doing this. I just really don't know why. It's just a built-in excuse for Canelo not to fight these guys or whatever the case may be. It's not the fact of the matter that Canelo doesn't want to fight him. It's the fanboy and it's the team around Canelo that has prevented him to fight these fights. His team has sunken so low that they are not confident in their fighter, and Eddie Reynoso, including himself, they are not confident in Canelo Alvarez's skill set no more, because it's a certain style that Canelo has trouble with. Not saying that Canelo can't do it, he can't pull it off, but they're giving him the fact of the matter is like, "Canelo, you just can't beat this guy. We're going to have to come up with a billion excuses because we don't want you in the ring with this guy." We never heard it from Canelo himself. Canelo never said that he never wanted to fight Benavidez. He said before, if Caleb Plant and David Benavidez fight each other, I will pick a winner. And he said that he will pick a winner. But his team is backtracking from this stuff, and his team is making like he doesn't want to smoke, but I believe he wants to smoke. But maybe you guys have a different opinion than I have an opinion. I'm blaming his team for all the capping and stuff they has been doing out his career, because they're playing mind games. And, Dimitri Bivol has to do what's best for his career. If he's got to walk away, if his team wants to change certain rules from 175 to 68, and if they're going to make it harder for him to not get the fight with Canelo Alvarez, hey, you got no choice but to walk away. But in the standpoint of this, if Dimitri Bivol beats Canelo Alvarez at 68, they're not going to give Dimitri Bivol the credit because they figured that he's oversized and Canelo was just too small. But if Canelo Alvarez beat Dimitri Bivol at 68, they'll give him all the credit in the world. But they're trying to did it at 175, but his team had a built-in excuse because basically they're saying that he was chasing legacy. Well, actually Canelo said he was chasing legacy, but you just got out mismatched. But if Dimitri Bivol, like I said before, if he fights him at 6'8", they're gonna make up every excuse in the book. His team is like, he was just too big. He came down to a weight class that Canelo Álvarez had no chance of beating. It was just a big disadvantage. They're gonna make up a lot of excuses if Canelo Álvarez losing against Dimitri Bivol. You'll have less excuses made if you fight David Benavidez, because I believe that's a winnable fight. So let me know what you guys think. What you guys think about this whole situation. So with that being said, guys, it is what it is at the end of the day. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way in the building and on your way out in the building. This is your boy King Jr. We will be back with some more boxing news. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.